into the 4th draft of this series. Glaive is going to be the first ban coming out from Nova, and that's going to be replied with a Catherine ban from Fnatic.
Yeah, I think Nova's probably going to take the Grace here, or, wow, never mind. They're going to go ahead and take Lyra, which leaves Grace open for the side of Fnatic here.
And
are they going to take the Scarf, though?
Weapon Grace has actually been kind of a priority for these EU teams as well, so
for some reason.
I'm kind of worried that the Grace pick might bait that into existence in this series.
Yeah, well, or like we just said, do they go for the Scarf, which has been banned on the second rotation each of the previous games by Nova. It's a pick that obviously we've seen Palmatoro do excellent on, but he's going to want the Crow. Interesting into the Lyra, as obviously the Bright Bulwark, the slows, a lot of different ways to prevent Krull from being able to get onto his targets.
Yeah, so they should ban either Petal, Samu, or Sky here, anyone they want to deal with, because honestly Nova can run with the Petal. Like I said, they're going to take away that Kestrel, which is actually pretty smart, so I guess they want or are confident playing into a Petal or Sky.
If it is a Weapon Kestrel is very strong against a Krull. When he uses the Dead Man's Rush, before the second attack can go off, a Weapon Kestrel can actually pop into active camo once the first attack from the Dead Man's Rush connects. Before the basic attacks happen, you go into active camo, landed an easy stun. So it actually makes a lot of sense to take the Weapon Kestrel away from Truth.
It certainly does. Now we'll see where Nova choose to go with this one. Celeste is going to be taken off the board. Honestly, with how influential Celeste has been, not only in this series, but across the course of this tournament so far, it's not a surprising ban, but there's the scarf that we were talking about.
But now, is this going to be Nova looking to take advantage of the Scarf? Obviously, we know how strong Scarf is once you get to the mid to late game. If you can prevent turrets from being taken early, you can have this Scarf with a massive impact. But Nova has been able to take turrets early against Fnatic. They've been able to push the issue in the lane. And against a Scarf who's likely to be a lane Scarf with the Krull already picked, this is going to be a situation where if they can bully the Scarf a little bit early on, start taking those turrets, they can prevent him from hitting his power spikes.
Okay, so in terms of the draft, Scarf is actually really good against Petal too. So now Nova can't really play Petal into that to counter the Cruel, because Scarf just eats Petal alive, especially in the mid to late game.
We have a North American team locking in a Grace alongside a Lyra here. This could well be the North American Weapon Grace coming out.
It's probably going to be a Weapon Grace for sure, I believe. And now they need to round it out with like maybe a Vox against the Cruel, because if they pick Ringo or anything else, Cruel is just so good into those type of carries. So I feel like, if anything, they can even do an Idris if they want, like a CP Idris, and be able to kite the Cruel and use Grace to counter it, but actually do a Black Feather instead.
This is going to be really interesting. If they're going to go with the Weapon Grace, obviously everyone knows I'm not a big fan of it. I would love actually to see maybe a Crystal Power Grace, just a little bit of Crystal Power, not a ton. Keep it mostly tanky. Play it like you would, similar to a Captain Grace. Maybe get a Shatter Glass, maybe an Aftershock in there, but focus on just being tanky and trying to survive against the Scarf. I think that's what they're going to be looking to do here, but I'm not crazy about this. I don't think they have enough early game strength to be able to shut down a Scarf.
Honestly, I think the biggest reason that you have to lock in the Grace here is just to deny it from Fnatic, because if they get Grace Krull for the early game pressure, Scarf to clear the wave, and then you get to late game, you're never going to kill that Scarf with a Grace alongside it. So I feel like this is more Fnatic pushing Nova into a corner as opposed to Nova building a strategy around.
Yeah, and I think Fnatic here can either do a Baptiste Captain or Finn. I mean, Finn will be so good into the composition because Grace and a Black Feather are both melee. It's a CP Black Feather, so he's gonna wanna. It's a Fortress instead.
The Fortress is almost entirely for the Mortal Wounds.
Yeah, the
That's
Mortal
almost
Wounds
exclusively the reason why they picked up the Fortress here, was just to be able to provide the Mortal Wounds. Assuming Krull is also going to be getting a Poison Shiv, if they can deny some of this healing, that's going to be the way that Fnatic can just exemplify and make this composition even more effective.
Yeah, once again, something else to contend against early pressure. Make sure that they can't fall too far behind. Right now, Nova Esports are 2-1 up in this series. They are one game away from getting a second North American team into our semi-finals tomorrow. But Fnatic, they are not going to be going down without a fight. They have that Scar pick that they're known so well for. They've got a Krull on their side as well. We'll see if this is going to go to the full 5-game series. Our players are getting ready on stage. Our casters are ready as well. So let's pass this upstairs and get on into game number 4.
Thank you very much, guys. Jaws Nick Scoundrel back at it once again. Game number 4. Game number 4. Match point for Nova. Fnatic, they need to come back, but I've spotted one thing in that draft, and it's Palmatoro, and he's on his scarf.
Well, let's not get ahead of ourselves, because I feel like it's actually going to be Palmatoro on the Cruel, and we're going to see Techno JJ take the scarf into lane. Now, I'm not totally sure. Obviously, I don't see too many Cruel lanes. I would be surprised if it was a Cruel lane, but we've seen an interesting shift from Fnatic, and I think that's something I really want to highlight. During the regular season, Palmatoro was the guy playing the scarf. Palmatoro was the guy playing these later game carries. He was being the solo carry from the jungle. Now it's Techno JJ. They've given the mantle of late game carry to Techno JJ here as we head onto the Halcyon Fold.
Here we go, the crowd's all ready, we're ready, Nova on match point, they're ready, and Fnatic, they need to find the next 2 games to secure themselves the place tomorrow.
Palmatoro is indeed on that Cruel. Net Toilette will be on the Fortress. It's interesting, Starboy. It's going to be Truth on what is going to be a Crystal Lyra. So we're going to see an alternating current as a first item for him. Something that we saw Bestchuck and A play a bit of quite a long time ago. I'm talking months, you know, up to a year ago here, as Net Toilette looking to pressure Starboy on the early game. Starboy going to get chased out, take a bit of damage early on here. It's going to force him back, and that's going to force the rotation here from Truth down as well to make sure that Fnatic don't capitalize on that early damage that they got down.
Yeah, looking towards the Elder Treants. Want to just contest this camps, actually. Net Toilette just going in towards Starboy. They do manage to take the goal, but Palmatoro chasing up. He's going to chase him. No, the bleed's going to be there. But other than that, not too much damage if Palmatoro's not chasing him. But the damage is there, and the damage has been done. They might just take control now of their backs.
Yeah, I like what Fnatic did there, all based on Net Toilette's good early trade with Starboy. But unfortunately, there's very little to capitalize on, and it will force Fnatic back into their own side of the jungle. We'll get the central tree on though, so it's not all lost for these guys. And that will allow Palmatoro to back, reset, go through another rotation, and all will be well. Techno JJ on the scarf in the lane will allow him to scale up a little bit more quickly, albeit he'll be under pressure a bit more so than normal. But he'll be able to clear waves and get those item spikes more readily, as the gold income in the lane is that much higher for a carry than it is for their jungle counterparts.
Now, Tasty Bacon did say this Fortress pick is only for these mortal wounds. It's just going to stop Starboy and Truth's healing later on in the game. They've got a fair bit of engage as well, but is Techno gonna be as protected as he maybe want to have been if he was if Net Toilette picked another hero?
No, but I mean, who are you super scared of here? I guess you're scared of low Delphi, but you can actually kite back onto him, get the mortal wounds applied. He's going to have those weakness stacks applied. You can very easily kite back against this weapon power Blackfeather if you're Fnatic. You just build those weakness stacks. I mean, yes, okay, Truth will be a threat, but you know, Crystal Lyra, she's not a ridiculously high damage output threat. You know, she is a bit of sustained damage. She's going to provide a bit of healing, obviously, with that sigil. But the major threat is going to be lone Delphi on this weapon power Blackfeather from the jungle, and that's very easy to kite back against for Fnatic. And remember, he's going to be relying on sustain to keep him in the fight as well. That's where the poison shiv and the mortal wounds is going to come into play.
Starboy's been found again. Nice double Holy Nova though. Truth is going to be with the Sigil over the wall to get the speed up and the heal. Starboy's going to be safe for the moment. Techno JJ does get a little bit of free time in lane though, so he's going to be thankful for that. And I got to say, Truth might be in a little bit of trouble here as well, as he doesn't end up backing up. He's going to be all right though. Truth of the Tooth used for the bleed. Starboy comes in, but other than that, I mean, I'm an advocate of Lyra in the lane. I just love playing full damage Lyra.
I know you are.
So happy Truth is going to show me the way.
That's the only carry that you do play. In fact, it's the only hero that you play is CP Lyra. It's really hard to play with you.
I go other roles. I just full damage as well as a fountain if I'm a captain. What can I say?
You're the worst kind of player.
I know.
Techno JJ working towards what's like going to be a Frostburn. Going towards, you know, that 3-item scarf that we all know and love. Starboy's going to be the target.
Face checking the bush again. Nice double Holy Nova. Bright Ball was going to come out, but the smite was just too good for him. Net Toilette finishing off the kill. 4th game in a row. Fnatic have secured first blood.
You might say nice Holy Nova, but it does keep the Grace static as well. So it's like a desperation Holy Nova, hoping something goes your way. But you stay static, you've already got the stacks built up, and it was a good move. 4th first blood for Fnatic. 4 games, 4 first bloods. They need to keep that momentum up, though. You need to keep rolling with the punches, make sure they capitalize off the early aggression that Palmatoro seems to have found here. Net Toilette moving his way back to lane.
Not exactly the person you wanted the kill on, however. First blood is first blood. The extra bounty of gold is on your side. Alternating current quick, cheap item for Truth is going to pick that one up. So he's going to be a little bit formidable in the lane, but TennoJJ responding with the Frostburn of his own.
Frostburn finished up, pretty key item for Scarf, going to control the pace so nicely. Again, making sure Lone Delphi is slowed will be a really key aspect of these fights, getting those weakness stacks built up onto him. It's all going to be about the sustained damage wars here. It's who's going to sustain harder and who's going to have a longer damage output. And I think, you know, that's going to be testament between TennoJJ and how easily they can keep Lone Delphi, because there's a lot of ways to keep Lone Delphi healthy and in the fight, but he needs to make sure that his Rose offensives are timed really well. If he blows both Rose offensives and TennoJJ is able to kite backwards with the help of the Fnatic squad slowing down and providing those weakness stacks on Lone Delphi, then Fnatic are able to reset easily. But if those Rose offensives are used effectively and allow him to get on top and keep on top of TennoJJ, Nova have got a good way of winning these fights.
Well, Palmatoro did ding level 6, so he has got from Hell's Heart. Perfectly timed as he entered the top brush. It's going to get flared out, though, in the mustache brush. Now, Lone Delphi did hit level 6 off that camp as well, but not nearly as impactful as a big old stun is. TennoJJ, when he does get his Dragon's Breath online, like you said, it is going to be the sustained war of damage. But with Palmatoro picking up that tension bow, there's going to be a lot of upfront burst, especially in these early stages of the game. We're going on 6 minutes in now. It's been a bit more of a slow one. Both of these teams just happy, just take it at their paces. Nova, no, they do let this game slide. Both them and Fnatic will be on match point.
What's even more difficult for Europe is they've got this team of Fnatic. This is probably one of the most even matchups that you're going to see. So the SK is obviously one of the hopes of Europe as well, but if Fnatic lose here, suddenly Europe could be staring down the barrel of a complete sweep by North America, and Dragonborn won't be giving any ice away at all. So, I mean, and everybody wants ice right now.
What do you say, 30,000 or something?
30,000 ice.
That's a lot of ice.
That's a big giveaway of Dragonborn. If one European team actually takes the series, Dragonborn will be giving away a nice chunk of ice to those of you invested.
Do it for the ice, Europe. Do it for the ice.
If that ain't going to motivate you, I don't know what will.
Not the trophy or anything, just the whole lot of ice. Now, Lone Delphi has picked up that Sorrow Blade now, and now Palmatoro. We've seen him done this time and time again. He's going to come in, he's going to find Truth. A passageway instantly used. Just knows Palmatoro with a point blank from Hell's Heart. Catches him, he's more than likely going to fall down.
Truth here. You don't get a huge scaling on the CP on your heals anymore. You used to get a more significant scaling, but there were changes to Lyra made it so that she was given a better scaling with health, making her more viable as captain. There's the engage. Blocked. Great block from Truth. Backs things off for Fnatic. Truth really seems to have worked into the use of that reflex block instantaneously. Mechanics and reflexes now on point as we're into the middle part of this series.
Yeah, he only has to block one form of CC rather than the multiple forms. However, TennoJJ is going to get jumped on again. Lone Delphi doing a lot of damage. He's chasing him underneath the turret. Won't quite find the kill, however. One of those potions and using those boots to get away. They've actually net Toilette using the fountain, not a potion at all. Lone Delphi actually are standing on that goop.
But the sustain is just so high that Starboy is never going to be threatened unless in dire situations to use that fountain. When he hits level 6, it'll be even harder for Fnatic to take down a member of the Nova squad. And it's going to be all about getting TennoJJ to that late game. TennoJJ actually working towards what's going to be an Eve of Harvest next. Really think the Broken Myth needs to be necessary. Oh, he's just dead. Dead with the CP Lyra burst coming out from that sigil. There is great damage scaling on the sigil as well, so you always have to be careful of how impactful that is. Now that's
Toilette, little bit. Oh,
he's going to get away, but
point.
TennoJJ picks up the Eve of Harvest and now looks like he's working towards what's going to be is he going the Celeste build on the Scarf? Just spam those Spitfires, the Clockwork coming out, and then eventually going into the Broken Myth? I like that. I do like that, actually.
Gold payout collected.
Nova, they take control of the gold mine now, and that's another one under their belts. They've had complete control of this midsection of the map the entire series.
Yeah.
Fnatic have really been starved of pressure on that gold mine, just giving up them time and time again. And that's where Nova have been getting ahead.
Yeah, Nova.
These gold mines.
Exactly, and that's what a lot of North American teams do. Both C9 and Nova have been so impactful in terms of their mid-objective control. Global objectives are the name of the game in North America, and Europe just don't seem to respond on that level. They kind of let them go for free. They feel like almost afraid to take fights because they don't feel like they can win them. And Nova, every time they take a win, they capitalize by going for something like a gold mine, and that has been accelerating their gold lead so easily and getting them to the point in the game where they're hitting item spikes more and more readily.
Nova with a nicely placed scout trap on top of that brush in the top side of the map. Palmatoro got spotted out instantly and a flare was to follow, so no hope and prey.
Techno JJ starting to do some serious work with these Spitfire spams. You know, the cooldown reduction coming into its own, but the healing is there. Remember, there is incredible sustain from the Nova lineup, and the more and more that you poke, the more and more that they can sustain. So it is a very, very limited war of attrition between these two teams where, yes, maybe Techno JJ can win it outright, but it's Techno JJ versus all of the sustain from Nova.
He's hitting them time and time again, though. I mean, it's energy expenditure at the end of the day. Truth going down really low. Divine Intervention comes through. Attack of the Pack is going to get launched as well. There's the Dragon's Bench. Techno JJ free to just charge that one up. Starboy in the front line gets stunned, gets killed. Techno JJ fighting back and with a double kill as a Spitfire was launched behind him. Low Delphi falls. Truth, the last one alive.
You can he's going for it again.
Oh no! Steps forward, gets bitten. Ace for Fnatic. Turret falls as well.
Techno JJ steps up to the mark, counted for, and is found to be not wanting. He's absolutely on fire, quite literally in this game. You can see the Spitfires time and time again getting the work done here for Fnatic. He finds the prime opportunity to channel that Dragon's Breath, slows down and does maximum impact damage to the Nova lineup, and then it's just a matter of cleaning them up. Nova do try to go in, but the fountain was held to such a good point in time for Net to allow a really nice hold into the fountain to bring Lone Delphi in and allow Fnatic to turn things around. Suddenly, we have a series on our hands, gentlemen. Fnatic look to ramp things up with the clockwork pickup on Techno JJ.
Oh boy, Techno getting some Scarf lessons off Palmatoro, I can imagine. And that Scarf, when it gets to late, it's going to be very scary. Clockwork, like you said, 3-item spike has been completed. Broken Myth, you can imagine, is going to be the next item on his agenda. But what is on Nova's agenda right now? They are 1-4. They need to be able to react. Lone Delphi, and actually what they touched on the desk is that takeaway of the Grace was more of a, we don't want you to have it, Fnatic, and being forced into this composition, maybe.
I think it's not too bad with the Blackfeather. The Grace Blackfeather, especially Grace Weapon Power Blackfeather combination is really, really strong. You do have to remember that Blackfeather thrives on the ability to stay in a fight and stay sustained, and Grace's damage reduction combined with the sustain of a Poison Shiv for Lone Delphi will help him achieve that. So it's actually not a bad pick in this scenario. The problem is it's one of those classic scenarios where you're just going to get outranged by the CP carry from Fnatic. Spitfire has, a very similar range to a level 8 Celeste on her Heliogenesis, and with the Clockwork coming through, it's about a 1.5 second cooldown Spitfire. You can spam them like crazy because you've got the energy regen. And it's night and day between Techno JJ, between this game and his previous game. 12 minutes and almost at 4 CP items.
Fnatic.
Oh, the
Fnatic
steal.
finally tried to find the gold mine. Truth comes through with the sigil. Just steals it away, right under Fnatic's noses.
CP Lyra burst damage on the sigil is very, very strong, and unfortunately Fnatic just weren't in the position. You've got to be careful against the Lyra. That kind of thing can happen even if it's a captain Lyra. And Fnatic get a gold mine snuck away from them. It gives the 1,000 gold lead over to Nova, and it's an unneeded relinquish for Fnatic. They really didn't want that to happen.
As a satisfying sound when Techno does burn the whole minion wave alive. Techno JJ and Starboy backing off. They have to at this opportunity. Techno, like you mentioned earlier, time and time again, it's not like Truth stepping into them either. Techno is just aiming them perfectly, and just the energy expenditure from Truth trying to heal himself up, and the rest of his teammate is just too much for him to deal with. Fnatic now finally in control, being proactive, taking away that Crystal Sentry as well.
And remember, you also get that max health damage from Scarf as well whenever you get that heroic perk applied. And that's slowly going to tick down on the Nova roster the more and more of those Spitfires you hit. Fnatic just playing the ranged game. It worked so well when Techno JJ played the Celeste that way. It's working well when he plays the Scarf. And like I said, it's a very interesting shift from Fnatic, from going from Palmatoro being the guy playing these late game carries to Techno JJ. Definitely feel like Techno JJ is doing a great job piloting them with this new responsibility of being the guy that most of the Fnatic composition right now is kind of relying on. If Techno JJ goes down, Fnatic don't win. So, Techno JJ is the guy that is literally putting Fnatic on his back and saying, all right, I'm going to be carrying, you need to protect me, do everything that you can to peel for me, and I will just do my best from that range advantage that I have.
Nice, a Fnatic-esque style. It's exactly what they like to do. Put one person up on that pedestal and everybody else carries them to the finish line. No, that's not how it works. Techno JJ carries them to the finish line, he just drags them along with him.
No, I think everybody from Fnatic has a huge role in how they win, but right now in this specific composition, it's Techno JJ being the guy. If Techno JJ doesn't perform, Fnatic doesn't perform with this particular composition, and so far he has been. So
Oh, from Hellsheart is going to get blocked. There comes the attack of the pack as well. They're going to jump straight on to Truth at this point. Can't move all too well in that bright bulwark, however, so they do end up having to back off here. No, yeah, Sigil burst damage really becoming apparent.
It's interesting that Fnatic chose to try and make an aggressive maneuver there. I think they've been winning the passive ranged game, and I think they can continue to do so. I don't think they need to take these aggressive maneuvers. I think they're very happy to just say spam Spitfire, and then when we find the right opportunity, we just go in. Aggressive maneuvers like that just open the opportunity for Lone Delphi to jump onto Techno JJ and kind of catch you off guard. So don't think Fnatic need to be pressed to make those kind of maneuvers because they're just winning by spamming Spitfires. So why would you want to do anything else?
Well, cast your mind back to last game. We were 15 minutes in and Truth was demolishing on the Celeste. We're 15 minutes in now. There's only 5 kills on the board. Kraken is now available, and Fnatic, they've got a hell of a composition to take it.
The wins have been very different styles from both of these teams. I mean, like, it's classic Fnatic. It's a slow, grindy win where they win through just ever so slightly taking objectives, ever so slightly finding the right opportunity to fight. Nova had been explosive. Nova had been an absolute flash of brilliance when they found their wins, but when they lose, they kind of struggle to know how to impact the late game.
Pamatoro jumping onto Starboy. Look at that damage just burning away. Lone Delphi in the front line. Starboy has to back off. Truth, 500 damage on the Spitfire, but they take him out. No composition is complete without your carry, and Techno falls. Net Toilette now is the next one. Explosive indeed. Nova find the ace, and they're going to find the Kraken as well.
Absolutely no idea why Fnatic thought that they had to be aggressive there. No idea why Techno JJ thought that he had to be that far up either. But Nova, let's praise their decisiveness. Let's praise the opportunity that they found. Look at Techno JJ's positioning here. I mean, Fnatic don't need to make these moves. They can just spam Spitfires. They can just play from range. And Techno JJ felt it became the front line. When Techno JJ becomes the front line, you know that you're done. And Nova capitalized so well. So we've got to praise Nova for the way that they capitalized on that because it was just so swift and decisive. And now they're going to punish Fnatic by taking the Kraken.
Full damage Lyra. Oh yes, it's on the board now. Truth with 3 kills to his name. Now, Kraken is on the board, but Fnatic, they do have a nice composition to deal with it. They've got a lot of upfront damage in Techno. Pamatoro, if he gets a little bit of time as well, can take it, but Nova aren't going to let them, you can imagine. They've got a lot of wave clear and they've got a lot of burst damage.
Oh, those sigils are really starting to hurt, and Fnatic, you can see, are scared now. Just trying to clear from the maximum range possible. Oh my word. Sigil's starting to chunk down onto Techno, and he's going to back off. That's going to be a turret given over, and with Kraken very healthy at this point in time, Fnatic will have to be very careful about how they defend this.
Yeah, Nova now breaking the base of Fnatic. Fnatic, yep, they're just giving it up at this point. In fact, can Nova go further? Kraken is at 2/3 HP here. Techno, he's got the items on board, but he just needs the protection. Like you said, the sigils really starting to hurt. They're finally just unleashing the attack of the pack. That's a beautiful from Hellsheart onto Truth. Passageways going to come through as well, but the Divine Intervention is going to heal him up not once, but twice. And the Techno JJ is still in the back line.
Oh,
there comes the Dragon Breath.
Them.
1, 2 kills. Truth's the only one left. Can he find anything? Not too much damage on the Lyra, and Fnatic find the ace. They're going to lose another turret for it, however.
3 turrets for the Kraken. Gold advantage to Nova, but you have gifted a lot of comeback gold over to Fnatic, which is why things have leveled up here. Techno JJ picks up his Aegis, working towards his tier 3 boots, infusions on board. Really decisive maneuver from Fnatic was needed, while Techno JJ was actually just able to do his work from the back line. Check out this. As soon as they saw that Truth was in the front line and open to an ultimate, they actually land it on him, they thread the needle, and Techno JJ is just almost untouched, simply because they're so busy trying to peel for Truth that Techno JJ builds up those broken myth stacks and is able to use the Dragon's Breath with the broken myth stacks, which you all know is one of the most devastating team fight abilities when you've got the broken myth stacks behind you.
Well, the crowd was going crazy for Nova a second ago, but now Fnatic are more in the driving seat, or at least they were in that fight. Nova have only got 1 turret between them and the Crystal, and 1 turret between them and getting it to day 3 as well.
Now it's a sort of a war of who can spam those ranged abilities the hardest. There's a lot of damage going down, another Spitfire ever so slightly dodged out there. Every time that Nova is forced to use the sigil for defensive purposes, that's 1 sigil that they can't use to burst Techno JJ down. So that's what Fnatic want to achieve. Vision control means they're going to get caught off guard, and actually now Nova are pushing this lane down. Fnatic have to be careful. They might be forcing Fnatic to make a move that they don't want to, because Nova, remember, they can just rush this turret down.
A zoning tool of the Sigil. Attack at the back comes out. Truth's going to be the target. They're going to activate the boost, though. Those War Treads coming out really big. Repositioning from Hell's Heart does land, but it doesn't land on Truth. Dragon Blast is going to get used up, and Truth is just melting. Has to use the passageway. They're trying to follow it. Bright Ball is going to come out, but they still find a Truth in the end.
Through.
But he still gets away. Divine Intervention's going to heal him up, and now Low Delphi's in the front line. He ends up falling 1v3, but Truth is still alive. Starboy, he is split up. They send one to deal with him, and Techno and NetToilet are going to chase him. They have got a lot of damage. There goes the crawl kill. Palmatoro finds it, but they're just teasing him in base right now, delaying these backs. Sigil's still hurting. Palmatoro gets the recall off. Passageway up and available yet again. Truth can't win a 1v3. That's an ace for Fnatic.
And the Kraken is up. Fnatic are going to slowly find their way back in. Techno JJ is a monster. The use of these Dragon's Breaths have been absolutely crushing in these team fights. Palmatoro has been doing a really good job of applying weakness stacks and getting off really good Atlases too. Double Atlas is kind of shutting down Lone Delphi for the most part, as well as the fact that, again, you're getting a double whammy with the alternating current on Truth also. So if you can slow his attack speed, you're also slowing some of that efficacy that Lyra brings to the table. That's an interesting use of Dragon's Breath, but it's on a short cooldown, so why not?
Yeah, only 37 seconds at the moment, so, you know, it's not too big. Kraken's going to get unleashed. Just wanted to be able to secure it, made sure Lone Delphi could not take that objective, and that's something that Nova's been very good at doing, securing those neutral objectives. We've only seen Fnatic try and unfortunately fail to go for one of those gold mines earlier on in the game. And now this is Fnatic, the 20-minute game in. The long slug is now nearing a point of end with Nova. They're still in this game, one turret remaining, but they find the kill on Truth again. You've got to imagine Fnatic are just going to bring this one home.
But remember, one wrong move at this point spells disaster. This is one of the fallacies with Fnatic's playstyle, is it, you know, it all relies on having a clean, consistent team fight, and we know that these North American teams with their mechanical prowess can be absolutely devastating if they win some of these late game team fights. So Fnatic have to be very careful about how they approach this. Techno JJ already taken a huge amount of damage, and Nova are going to be able to just clear this Kraken out.
Yeah, turret is going to fall. So that's 2 turrets for the Kraken, not too shabby at all. And now the next team fight is going to decide it.
Oh,
we are at that point in the game. We are 22 minutes in. These death timers are way too long, and they've got way too much damage on either side for the turrets to be any more than just tiny ants on the map. Now, what do Nova do in this situation against Fnatic? They need to be able to find this kill on Techno JJ, yes, but the issue is they're letting Techno JJ charge up these Dragon's Breaths time and time again.
Well, he's getting the Spitfires off, which do have that extended range. The more and more broken mid-stacks he can build before the fight starts, the better and better it is for Fnatic. Lone Delphi now picks up a heavy steal, so he's working towards it being a bit more threatening in his own right, whereas Palmatoro has kind of been stuck here with just that 2-item spike for himself. They're going to try and catch Starboy out.
Starboy, the gloop is going to hit. War Tread's actually popped. That's a pretty big cooldown for him, about a minute. It's big at this time of the game at least. Fnatic could pounce on that one. That's what's saving them to start off these fights, at least when Fnatic are going for these flanks.
The damage coming down from these sigils is something that you do have to respect at this point, even if you are Palmatoro and NetToilet. It's a really tough area. Oh, where's Palmatoro gone?
Oh, Palmatoro's going 1v3. That's where he's going. Attack at the back's going to come out. He's always going really, really low. Fountain comes through. Techno JJ still burning alive, though. Truth on the back line just going to heal, but Divine Intervention's going to come through and just heal up. Low Delphi. Beautiful Holy Nova. Stop 3 members, and Truth finds 1 kill. Techno JJ needs to find this. Truth goes down, but so does the Dragon. Starboy burning alive, and NetToilet in a 2v1. Low Delphi is going to be able to find that kill in the end. They find the ace. 50-second death time is for Fnatic. Nova, they're just going to end.
I'm speechless. I'm absolutely speechless. That was just complete discordance from Fnatic. Palmatoro in no man's land by himself, but let's praise Nova. They have absolutely deserved this series. Starboy, Lone Delphi and Truth, take a bow because you have made it to the semi-finals tomorrow.
Oh boy, day 3 awaits you, gentlemen. Nova take the series 3-1, and North America still unbeaten in their rivalry versus EU.
The pressure is now on for Europe.